Ever wondered how ancient kings got their beauty sleep? Montezuma's bedtime routine would make your fancy memory foam mattress look like a joke. From magic mushrooms to dream guardians, the Aztecs turned sleeping into an art form. Let's talk about Montezuma's bedroom, and trust me, it makes the presidential suite at the Ritz look like a closet. This guy had a massive chamber with walls covered in gold and precious stones that sparkled in the torchlight. His bed, pure luxury. We're talking about the softest cotton sheets from his empire's best weavers, layered with jaguar pelts and exotic bird feathers. The air was always filled with sweet-smelling copal incense, and get this, he had a team of servants whose only job was to make sure the room temperature stayed perfect all night. They'd adjust the burning braziers and even spray scented water when things got too warm, and you thought your white noise machine was fancy. Here's where things get wild. The Aztecs had a whole pharmacy of sleep aids that would make modern sleeping pills look boring. Montezuma's personal medicine man would brew up special teas using plants like coxswaitl, what we now call wild lettuce, known for its gentle sedative effects. But that's just the starter pack. They also use sacred mushrooms called teonanacatl and morning glory seeds that packed some serious psychedelic punch. These weren't just for kicks. The Aztecs believed these substances opened a direct line to their gods through dreams. Think of it as their version of a spiritual conference call, just way more intense than your average chamomile tea. Let's zoom out from the royal bedroom and check out how regular Aztec folks caught their Z's. Unlike Montezuma's golden chamber, warrior families crashed on simple reed mats called petlatl, basically the original camping mattress. But here's the cool part. They weren't sleeping alone. Most Aztec homes had one big room where everyone snoozed together, with little kids sandwiched between parents for warmth and protection. Warriors kept their weapons close, ready to jump into action. They'd often sleep in a semi-sitting position, propped against the wall, a habit from their military training that'd make any chiropractor cringe today. Think royal dreams needed royal protection? You bet. Montezuma had an elite squad of dream guardians, specially trained warriors who'd stay awake all night watching over his sleep. These weren't your average security guards nodding off in the corner. They went through intense spiritual training and had to follow strict rules. No eating heavy foods, no hanky-panky, and absolutely no dozing. They believed that if they messed up and the king had a nightmare, it could spell disaster for the whole empire. They'd patrol in silent shifts, burning special herbs and whispering prayers to ward off evil spirits. Some even painted their eyes with magical symbols to see invisible threats. Talk about taking the night shift seriously. Okay, this is where things get really interesting. The Aztecs had professional dream readers who made modern therapists look like amateurs. These experts, called Tamiximati, could make or break your social status based on what you saw while snoozing. They'd sit with Montezuma every morning, analyzing every detail of his dreams in these intense interpretation sessions. If he dreamed of eagles, great news, victory in battle. But spot a coyote in your dreams? Time to watch your back. These interpreters had massive books filled with dream symbols passed down through generations. And here's the wild part. They believed some dreams weren't just messages, but actual adventures your soul took while your body caught some Z's. Makes your recurring dream about showing up to work naked seem pretty tame, right? Let's talk about Aztec bedding. And forget everything you know about memory foam and Egyptian cotton. The Aztec nobles slept on raised platforms called petatl, covered in the most incredible materials. They layered soft cotton with jaguar pelts, but the real MVP was the izuatl, capes made from hummingbird feathers that were softer than anything you've ever touched. These weren't just random feathers either. It took thousands of tiny, iridescent plumes to make just one sleeping cape. The commoners. They rocked woven reed mats, which honestly were pretty genius for that hot mesoamerican weather. They were naturally cooling and kept the bugs away. Want to avoid bad dreams Aztec style? These guys were serious about their sleep security. They'd hang obsidian mirrors in their bedrooms, These black glass-like stones were like ancient dream catchers. The mirrors supposedly trapped evil spirits trying to sneak into your dreams. But that's just the start of their anti-nightmare toolkit. People would sleep with small jade amulets under their pillows, and some even tied red ribbons around their wrists. Apparently, bad dreams couldn't handle that fashion statement. My favorite has to be their dream-blocking snack. They'd eat a piece of chalky mineral called teazatl before bed, believing it would coat their soul and make it too slippery for nightmares to grab onto. Pretty creative problem-solving, if you ask me. The Aztecs didn't just crash whenever they felt tired. They had a whole cosmic schedule for optimal sleep. Their priests tracked a complex 260-day calendar that marked the best and worst nights for catching Z's. Some nights were marked as crystal nights, perfect for prophetic dreams and chatting with the gods. But watch out for the dark nights when evil spirits were supposedly throwing a party. During these spooky times, people would stay up late, burning extra incense and wearing special protective amulets. The really fascinating part? They planned major decisions around these sleep cycles. Going to war, better wait for a crystal night when the gods could send strategy tips through your dreams. Even with all these fancy sleep setups, sometimes Montezuma had rough nights, and let me tell you, a cranky Aztec emperor was everyone's worst nightmare. When Insomnia hit the palace, it triggered a wild chain of events. The Dream Guardians would scramble like caffeinated squirrels, burning every calming herb in Mexico. The royal masseuses would work in shifts, trying everything from jadestone therapy to eagle feather tickling. If nothing worked, they'd call in the big guns, high priests who'd perform elaborate rituals, sometimes lasting days. They believed a sleepless king meant angry gods, and nobody wanted that drama. One famous record tells how Montezuma once stayed awake for 3 days straight, convinced he'd seen a bad omen in his last dream. The whole empire basically held its breath until he finally dozed off. You might laugh at some of these ancient sleep hacks, but modern science backs up quite a few Aztec bedtime tricks. That wild lettuce tea. It contains lactocin, a natural sedative that actually works. And sleeping on raised platforms in a cool, incense-filled room. Total win for sleep hygiene. Even their obsession with temperature control was spot on. Studies show 65-degree Fahrenheit is the sweet spot for quality sleep. Those reed mats weren't just cheap alternatives either. They provided perfect airflow for Mexico's humid nights. Sure, maybe skip the psychedelic mushrooms, but the Aztecs understood sleep better than we gave them credit for. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through Montezuma's bedroom. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible Aztec sleep secrets, smash that like button and subscribe for more ancient history with a twist. Share with your friends who need better sleep.